Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. This is Richie, and today we're going to be talking about a very interesting report from SNY's Ian Begley saying that Julius Randle could be available in this upcoming trade deadline. Quote, "It's worth noting that one team in touch with a member of the organization recently is under the impression that Julius Randle would be available for the right return." So in this video, I want to give you guys my thoughts of this report. Are the New York Knicks going to be trading Julius Randle? Is it the right move? Is it the wrong move? Basically breaking down what this would happen in the organization if the New York Knicks decide to move on from Julius Randle ahead of the trade deadline. So before I hop into the video, I just want to mention, if you guys are new to Knicks Media, please make sure you smash that subscribe button, as I have so much Knicks content coming your way all the way throughout the rest of the season, carrying over into the offseason and beyond. And also make sure you guys smash that like button if you guys enjoyed. I greatly appreciate all the support here on Knicks Media. It means a lot to me. With that being said, let's jump right into the video. So obviously going into this season, man, I did not expect us to be in this position. I don't think any of us expected us to be in this position, to be honest. You know, the unfortunate reality is the expectations got high. We're coming off a season where Julius Randle had an historic season. Like, not even just individually, but NBA history. Like, what he did last year, 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, was like the first time since Larry Bird. He was an all-NBA second-team player, all-star, most improved player. He led the Knicks to the 4th seed. And if you guys remember, he was consistently doing unbelievable stuff last season. But now we fast forward to this year, and it's a completely different story. Julius Randle is not playing winning basketball at all. Julius Randle is trying to be the number one option, and it's not working. What we saw last year from Julius Randle in the playoffs was a little glimpse of what we're getting throughout this entire regular season. And you know what that is? The entire team, right? They look at Julius Randle as the leader of the team because he is the best player on the team. As we speak, he leads the team in points, rebounds, assists. That just means that the offense is ran through him, right? And the problem is Julius Randle cannot handle being a number one option. And right now he is a number one option for the Knicks, but he's not playing like one. You know, I'm not saying that it's a good thing that he's a number one option, because that's why we are losing. I think every single Knicks fan knew after that playoff series against the Atlanta Hawks last year that Randle will never be a successful number one option on this team, and we need to get help. So now Randle, what's happening this year that I've noticed is defenses are zeroing in on him, double teaming him, and every time Julius Randle gets the ball, he does not have any chance to get comfortable, chance to get into his spots, and that's forcing him to be double teamed. And whenever Julius Randle gets double teamed, it's an absolute nightmare. He is god awful at handling the double teams. He gets rattled, he turns the ball over, he cannot get comfortable, and it's just, the reality is Julius Randle cannot handle the pressure of being the guy on a team. So now we're here approaching the trade deadline. Are the New York Knicks going to be trading Julius Randle? Well, it seems like there's some team that is interested, according to SNY's Ian Begley. And number one, who are the team that's going to be? What are we going to get back? And I know that 99.5% of Knicks fans are over Julius Randle, and they want him gone right now. And it's just crazy to me personally, because where I was at in the summer when we extended Julius Randle, I was excited. I felt like he deserved it. Leon Rose committed a lot of money to him long term. We're coming off Tom Thibodeau winning Coach of the Year, and then here we are, and everything is just flipped on its head. Like, I really thought that Julius Randle was going to be the guy to be, you know, an all-star for this team, and we get a couple all-stars around him, and he's going to be a good player on this team for the future, being that second or third option along with other stars. And we know that RJ Barrett is emerging as probably the real number one option on this team. But now we're realizing that Julius Randle cannot handle the New York media, the New York pressure, and I think that's the most important thing. We saw in the middle of the season, Julius Randle, all of his frustration went loose, and at the Garden, he went like this to the crowd. He said, "Shut the F up." And ever since then, it's been a really big problem. I think the biggest issue with Julius Randle, in my opinion, is his mentality. There's something going wrong with his head. He doesn't have confidence. He feels like the city is against him, and whenever that's the case, he just can't do it. And we all know as Knicks fans, it is really hard to win in New York City. The media is down your throat. You know, the fan base is rabid. We're passionate. We're going to let you know if you're playing bad, or if you're playing good, we're going to let you know, And Julius Randle just seems like he cannot mentally handle the New York media. You got to be mentally tough in order to handle it. Do you know who I think can handle this? That's RJ Barrett. I genuinely believe that RJ Barrett is a player that can handle being a star in the face of a franchise for the New York Knicks. Whenever the Knicks are losing, whenever RJ has a bad game, he goes up to the media and he seems like he can handle it. He's even-keeled. He's never too high. He's never too low. He understands it. He's a professional, and he's 21 years old. So it's just awesome to see RJ Barrett's body language and his leadership qualities just instinctually. And then when you flip it over to Julius Randle, he's avoiding the media. He's, calling fans out. He's saying stuff where he's getting fined. And Julius Randle, his body language, his energy. And that's my biggest problem with Julius Randle personally. Obviously you can go through slumps, you can miss your shots, that's okay, that's part of basketball, you're not going to be hitting your shots every single game. But my problem with Julius Randle is his lack of energy, his lack of effort, his lack of will to win, his lack of leadership ability, where you see pictures of him, 10 feet away from the bench during a timeout, not even near the huddle, and you're like, you're supposed to be the leader of this franchise. We gave you this contract in order to galvanize the players and ignite that mentality, because you remember last year, apparently Julius Randle was inspiring the players to get back into the gym, to be, a workhorse, just have that next level mentality. And right now it just seems like Randle's not all there. And I really think it's something going on with his mental, and I just don't think that he can handle the New York market. Now, could this completely be flipped on its head? Could the Knicks hold on to Julius Randle past the deadline and say, no, he's the guy, and we're going to build around him and take pressure off Randle? That could possibly be an option. If I genuinely still believe that Randle is a talented player enough that he could be successful on a team where he's not the number one option, and that is the Knicks. But according to this report and according to everything around, how the Knicks fans feel and how the Knicks fans feel about even Tom Thibodeau, some change needs to happen. So now, to finish off the video, let's talk about a trade scenario. Who are we going to get back from Julius Randle? And you see what the Knicks are doing right now. Obi Toppin is coming off 2 great games off the bench. Randle's out there. His plus-minus is always negative. And it's just really crazy. Are the Knicks actually going to trade Julius Randle? Let me know in the comments, guys. I feel like most of you guys are going to say 100%. Get rid of him. I'm sick of Julius Randle. I want him out. But are there some of you guys that say, no, I still believe in him. Let's hold on to him for the future. Let's build around him. Let's take pressure away from him so defenses don't have to zero in on him? Because I still believe where if Julius Randle can get one-on-one matchups, like, he can dominate players. I mean, he can dominate you. You saw that last year. Teams did not really double-team Randle that much, and he was just dropping 40 bombs, 30-plus bombs, 25, being efficient. And maybe that was a fluke season. Maybe it wasn't. But I just don't think Randle was ever suited to be a number one option on a team, and we're seeing that right in front of our eyes, and he's just not mentally all there. So now it's a really, really big decision for Leon Rose in the front office. Do we trade Julius Randle? If so, who's it for? Is Obi Toppin going to be the future power forward? Are they going to bring in someone else and keep Obi off the bench? Like, are they going to break up this team? Because at this point, I feel like Knicks fans at the trade deadline assumed we'd be buyers. But right now, we're talking about being sellers. And yes, that's depressing, but that's the unfortunate reality that we're in right now. We're 3 games under 500. We're not even in the play-in tournament as we speak. And changes need to be made. So Ian Begley is making a report that he could be available for the right return. So please leave a comment down below your thoughts about this report, guys. Do you want to trade Julius Randle? If so, who is it for? Or are you on the train to keep Julius Randle and you feel like that he still has a lot left in the tank to prove to Knicks fans that he is the guy? As you can tell, I'm right in the middle. I can see why moving on from him would be the right decision, but at the same time, I still believe Julius Randle to be a really good player for this Knicks team. But the only problem is he will never be successful on this team if he feels like he has to be the hero, if he feels like he has to be the number one guy. Hand the keys to RJ Barrett, be the Robin to RJ's Batman, and then surround them with stars around them for the future. That's the only scenario, because Julius cannot handle being a number one option. That's pretty obvious. We all knew that going into the season, so it's not like a big shocker, but now we're seeing it in foremost. Whenever there's a defense that zeroes in on Randle, he collapses. He cannot do absolutely anything, and he's playing his worst basketball as a New York Knick, even comparing to that 2019-2020 season. So leave a comment down with your thoughts, guys. Smash the like button if you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Let's go Knicks. Peace out.